It's a pretty chill morning for summer. Is it summer? I think we're still in summer, right? But it doesn't feel like summer. Not in this part of the world. I left Turkey. I think I had a good time in Turkey, but there comes a time that you just feel like, okay, I had enough. What's next? What is next? And for me, this is next. And when you think about autumn, fall, whatever you call it, there's no better way than to be in England, right? Because the foliage, the weather, everything feels so much more nicer, like you're in an actual movie. So this is what I chose to spend fall, and I decided to bring you guys with me, and we're gonna have a really cool time. This is a nice breeze. Look how I changed up so nicely, right? But more on that later, because right now we're gonna talk about the awful experience that I had with a hotel in Turkey. But first, let me show you guys what I bought. So I went to this place called Poundland, which I know everybody knows about Poundland, and it's supposed to be the same as Dollar Tree as we have in the US. I got myself 10 codfish fingers, right? I got four fish steaks in a creamy parsley sauce. I don't know what is a parsley sauce, but it's a noodles. I got 3 of them for £3, I think. Yeah, £3. What else? Smoked back bacon for brekkie. Oh, this biscuit. I have been looking for Biscoff for so long, because the last time that I had Biscoff, I was in Budapest, and I was like, I need it. Coke Zero, because if you know me, I'm a huge advocate for Coke Zero. This 4-pack was for £2, which I obviously thought this was a fine, and I was like, I need to have this. What else? 4 pins burger brioches, just because I didn't find any actual bread. And last but not least, 10 slices of traditionally crafted coleraine. And I paid a total of £21, which in USD it was about $29, which was okay, right? This way I have brekkie for a week and something to snack on. But yeah, I was just telling you guys about how I felt at this hotel. Let me take you back to the beginning. I was just arriving in Turkey. I had booked myself this room in someone else's house for 11 nights, then another reservation for 4 nights. In total, I was in Turkey for 15 days, which I only did that because the room that I got was only available for the 11 nights. I was like, okay, not a problem. What can I do to get another room after this? So I found this cute place. I booked, and I came straight from the airport to that place, the place that I got when I just got to Turkey. Everything was okay with the check-in till I walked into the house, and the house was nasty. There were hair all over the place. Also, no, this is not gonna fit, so what can I do? Also, the bathroom was crazy dirty. The shower piece in the bathroom was not working, which was a bummer, because I was like, I need a shower. I've been traveling for so long now that every time that I crash into a new place, I need a shower. Just like the shower that I took a couple hours ago when I arrived here around 4 in the morning. But yeah, so as soon as I realized that it was awful, I could not be in that room for longer than what I had already been there, I immediately messaged Airbnb through their app, and I was like, hey, I don't like this place. Look at the photos, the video. This place looks awful. It smells even worse. I don't want to be here. When I told them that they immediately requested photos, video, which I had those. So I just sent them over. And when I sent them over, I was speaking to one of them for maybe 6-7 hours, I think. And they were able to get me my money back, which was cool, right? Because I was in that place that I didn't feel comfortable being at. And I knew I had to leave. But me having to leave was not that simple because I had to find another place, right? I had to find somewhere else to be. And finding somewhere else to be meant that I had to search for new places. So I started doing that. I did. I started looking for places to be, and I found this cute little hotel in Old Town. I think that's how they call it, right? Old Town. So I booked a hotel room. I take an Uber, I go to this place, and where are the pens of this house? No pens? Ah, that's crazy. No pens, like at all? That's crazy. What do you mean no pens? No, I think I found one, yeah. Just one pen? That's crazy. So I take an Uber, I go to this place. I check in, which was around 11 p.m., midnight almost. And the host was super nice. He was like, hey, where are you from? Can I see your passport? I just need to take a photo of it. And then I'm gonna let you go. This is your room, blah, blah, blah. And because I got there almost at midnight, the first night I couldn't notice that the hotel has a restaurant literally in front of the room that I was staying at. And they had ballet dancers and live music. Literally a band playing live music. And little did I know that this was going to be a everyday happening circumstance that I was going to experience for my whole stay in Turkey. And the first night was okay because I was super tired. I got at the room, I crashed out. I was like, okay, I just need to take a moment to sleep right now. That's what I did. I woke up the next morning and I noticed that bed sheets that I had, they were nasty. So what I usually do is what I did. I took photos because you have to have proof of whatever you're saying. I took photos, made a couple videos, and I messaged the hotel, but through Airbnb, right? Because that's the platform that I used to book that room. And I was like, hey, can you please change the bedding because this is nasty whatsoever. I'm heading out, but if you could do that in the meantime, I'm out. I would appreciate it. And he messaged me things like, why are you booking the cheapest hotel? Why are you booking the cheapest room in the entire hotel and expect to have a 5-star service? Don't book a cheap room in a hotel and expect a 5-star service. And I was like, but all I'm asking is for you guys to change the bedding because it's literally like not clean. And then I also sent him a photo of a dryer the hair dryer that was not working. I was like, can you also please make sure that this is working? And that's when he decided to be hostile towards me and he started to harass me in a way that I was not anticipating. And the whole thing that he was telling me was making me feel unsafe because he started to get more aggressive and more aggressive as I was telling him, hey, can you please help me with this and that? I need help with this, da da da. And he eventually started saying a lot of awful things, which I blocked him. Yes, I blocked his ass. And I was not gonna let him talk shit to me, so I made him sure that every time that he needed to talk to me, he was gonna have to message me via Airbnb. So I was not gonna take any bullshit from him. After that, I was like, okay, I can't say anything to Airbnb as of right now because I don't wanna lose the place that I am. And if this is the only problem that he's harassing me, I can just shut the door, not be outside, trying to avoid contact with him for as long as I could and just do me, right? So I would usually go outside like around 9 or 10 right after I woke up, just go to the beach. I was there for a couple hours and I head back. I went by the market, Migros, how do you call it? I got myself a couple things, then I would head back home. I would go on and take on a couple interviews and that was my day pretty much. And every time that I saw him, I was immediately changing ways because I didn't want to like face him or even go through any type of conversations. He started noticing that, and I think he also noticed that I blocked him on WhatsApp because he was not able to send me any messages. And if he were to send me any harassment or even awful and nasty stuff like he was doing over WhatsApp, he wouldn't dare to write me that stuff in Airbnb. So I think I made the right decision to not let him talk to me anymore via WhatsApp. But then eventually when the days passed by, I immediately could notice the staff, not only his, but the staff faces looking funny at me, not having any hospitality, if that makes sense. And there were several nights that I could hear someone try to like knock on my door and try to open it. And I was literally asleep, like 3 or 4 in the morning. I was literally sleeping. Someone tried to break into my room. And I could see from the window that they would have the same outfit. They would have the same uniform from the staff of the hotel, the restaurant. I could see that was an employee and not someone that was staying at the hotel. And I could also smell weed many nights right aside of my doorstep as if someone was trying to intimidate me. And I was obviously recording and taking photos and making sure that I was documenting all of that, because after I left the place, I was gonna send Airbnb a message, say, hey, this and this happened, blah, 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 please help me with this. And I don't think I have ever experienced any type of hospitality in that sense. And I have stayed in so many Airbnb, hotels, rooms, homestays, and I have never had an experience like that, because based on the way that he talked to me, and he would expect me to, I don't know, maybe abide to his way of treating the customers. So I was really sad, and I tried to not think much of it as I was living that experience. I was just like, okay, I need to document this, but I don't want to be like in pain side of him, because I don't want to have to run into him. So I obviously documented everything. I submitted to Airbnb as soon as I left. And right this morning, I was going over my bank statements from the last weeks that I was in Turkey. And because I know they don't do euro, they do Turkish lira, right? There could be some type of difference in the exchange rate, and I get that. But I noticed that a lot of my transactions in Turkey, they were way higher in my credit card than they were supposed to be like in paper. Because when I was going through the menu, I was like, okay, this is let's say 500 Turkish lira, so this should be like, I don't know, X amount in USD. So I always had an idea of how much I was going to spend based on how much of Turkish lira I was spending. But I came to the conclusion that the actual prices that were charged in my credit card, they were not the same that was being like displayed in front of me in the menu. And that is so frustrating, because I had seen so many videos or even heard from friends that in many of the tourist places that they go in Istanbul or in Turkey in general, they experience that type of thing where people are trying to scam them over with little things. That's the stories that I have heard, but I've never experienced it. And even though the amounts that were charged in my credit card, they are not huge, because again, Turkey is a cheap country, so therefore you kind of expect to spend X amount of money per day based on your budget. And that's what I had in mind as well, but that's not what happened. So that made me feel like I don't want to go back to Turkey, not in the nearest future. I don't think I feel safe going back to the country. And it's kind of sad for me to come here and tell you guys this, because the only country that I've been like this and that I felt like this and I told you guys about it was Egypt over a year ago. And basically kind of the same story, right? Scams, people trying to take advantage of you. I remember that in Egypt, they accept your Uber ride, but they don't charge you the amount that is on the app. They always like double charge you, or sometimes 3x the amount that you are supposed to be charged. And that is a common thing, that they just go like, okay, this is Egypt, you take it or you leave it. This is just who you are, okay? And it doesn't matter if you report the drivers to Uber, they're gonna do that eventually every single day, multiple drivers, many different people. So how does one company hold accountable many people, so many people, right? Even though I did not have the greatest time in Turkey, I think it somehow taught me something about life, and I know that that also teaches me that I should do more research into the places that I put myself going to. And not only just the usual like TikToks, videos on YouTube, or even like friends that went, but actual news from the media, right? What are they saying? What are they talking about the local community of the city that I'm going to? And that sucks because I wanted a little beach getaway, so that's why I chose Turkey in the first place. I wanted to be close to the beach. I also wanted to be in a country in Europe that I wouldn't spend that much money because I can't afford that right now. And that came with consequences. So that's probably something that I'm not gonna repeat in the future. I'm just sad, overall the experience was just not good as I was expecting it to be, because I was in Turkey last year in Istanbul, and I had a crazy experience with the whole country being misogynist and LGBT phobic, and they are not as welcoming to people like me. So I thought I had an idea of like, okay, I'm not gonna go to this country because this and this and that. But I decided to give it a shot. I decided to give it another try, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this time is gonna be different, right? I'm going to the beach right this time. I'm gonna spend some time focusing not only on working, but I'm gonna also take my time to explore the city. I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna do a lot of things, and this is gonna be my time, like not thinking about work or not worrying that I don't have a job. So that's what I came up to. And I know, also a disclaimer, I know that sometimes not all the people, they have the same experiences. I know that that was my experience. I know that someone else can have a different experience, and that is all good, right? It can happen, like you can have a different experience. And this noodle is almost ready. I'm gonna put the rest of the stuff in the cabinet. I got to England just a few hours ago, so expect a lot of footage in the autumn fall foliage type of thing, because this is what I came here for. And I think I'm gonna have a good time. And it just kind of feels good not to be in the crazy weather of like super hot. Right now it's super cool. I think it's like, let me look at the weather forecast to see what does it look like now. So 64 Fahrenheit, which is good, right? But if we're talking Celsius, it's 18. So pretty chill, pretty cool, and just what I'm looking for. If you are going to Turkey in the next couple of weeks, or if you're going to Antalya, make sure you let me know what you think, what was your experience like after you're done. Because I don't think I can be the only one that had a bad experience in that city, in that country. I can't be the only one. I would love to hear from you what you think about this video. Let me know if you had any experience like mine in Turkey, or if you've never been to Turkey, have you ever had any experience that was not the greatest in a country that you would recommend me to go in, regardless of the experience that you had? Let me know in the comments. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to subscribe right here. Leave a like, leave a thumbs up in this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.